How about that? That's about as flat as I can get. Readers of genre fiction are searching for more than just a story, more than a slice of life that mirrors the real world. Whether that's a magical realm, an alien planet, or some inconceivable future, we're looking for something that can stretch our brains beyond this mundane existence. And that's exactly what I found in abundance in here, Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions by Edwin Abbott Abbott. That's not a typo, that's a double Abbott. Flatland is a place, a world, a universe, a reality. You see, how many books blow your mind with the base description of the concept of the space in which the book takes place alone? And that's just headfuck number one. Flatland is a place that exists in two dimensions. It's a functional society that has people, buildings, laws, schools, history, customs, pretty much the same as us in our three-dimensional spaceland. But with no third dimension, no up nor down, everything appears as a straight line. Our protagonist is a square, literally. Soldiers and workmen are isosceles triangles. The nobility are hexagons. Criminals are irregular shapes, of course, priests are circles, and so on. But the projection of these shapes that constitute and inhabit this realm is perceived as a collection of intermingled lines. You may be asking, why the hell would I want to read a story about geometry? Surely that's restricting the mind and not expanding it. Well, that's headfuck number two. Regardless of the setting, Flatland is a satire. It's a powerful, cutting condemnation of the Victorian class system, the oppression of women in particular, and the gross abuse of power. By literally reducing the fabric of the reality of the story by a whole dimension, we somehow create more room to explore and debate these ideas. And then it gets weird. If a man with a triangular front and a polygonal back were allowed to exist and to propagate a still more irregular posterity, what would become of the arts of life? Are the houses and doors and churches in Flatland to be altered in order to accommodate such monsters? So there I was, reading Flatland, feeling smug that I'd found this book that elevated the synapses and played at the crossroads of space and social commentary. What an idiotic boob. Headfuck number three, our protagonist, the square, has a dream. Or was it an astral projection? Or an epiphany? Whatever. He apparently mentally conceives Lineland, a place, a world, a universe, a reality of one dimension. He meets the king of Lineland, and mirroring the experience that the reader has just had, getting their head around Flatland, explains that he comes from a place of two dimensions, the pinnacle of existence. Now the reader sees Flatland as this complex, dynamic, structured world. You've got a whole two dimensions to wander around in. That's all of the points of the compass. And then, depending on whose head is getting fucked here, ours or the square's, headfuck number four. A sphere from Spaceland, that's the place where we all exist in that has three spatial dimensions. A sphere visits the square in Flatland. Yeah, I know it's starting to look a bit like a Russian doll. I envisage a string of universes, each with one more or less dimension than the universe right next door, but that doesn't really make that much sense because that very string of universes is imagined in three dimensions because I'm a proud citizen of 3D space. Once again, mirroring what the square just tried to explain to the king of Lineland, the sphere tries to convince the square of a reality with more dimensions. And it's but also Mwah. It's now a story about perception and faith and geometry and the laws of physics, and the sphere's explanation of the 3 dimensions is restricted due to the 2-dimensional world that he currently inhabits. Even though the square has experienced a place with just 1 dimension, it's somehow easier to accept a lower form of reality than a higher form. So the sphere takes the square to Spaceland. So now whose head's getting fucked? Had the acute angled rabble been all, without exception, absolutely destitute of hope and of ambition, they might have found leaders in some of their many seditious outbreaks, so able as to render their superior numbers and strength too much, even for the wisdom of the circles. As readers of science fiction, fantasy, speculative whatever, we are used to seeing our characters in inexplicable situations and locations. Even though this corner of the library is full of authors trying their darndest to pull the rug out from under our feet, it's very rare that I find something as out there as Flatland. The cherry on top is the inevitable playing out of this tiered, concentric expansion of reality. Headfuck number, I've lost count, 42, 69. Yeah. The square proposes the idea of a land of 4 dimensions and beyond to the sphere, which the sphere rejects as impossible. Oh, come now, you stupid square. 3 dimensions is the highest form of reality. As the reader, with our unique perspective from above the text, or is that to the side, or from within, the true nature of this book is dropped on our shoulders. What does it all mean? Flatland somehow simultaneously explores really cool mathematics, dimension jumping pseudo-aliens, the social construct, the scientific method, religion, philosophy. And it's a dystopian novel, and all in under 100 pages, and it was written over 140 years ago. Learn this lesson, that to be self-contented is to be vile and ignorant, and that to aspire is better than to be blindly and impotently happy.